Hello, everyone. Welcome to AJ's World. Today, I just wanted to go over why I started this channel and why I started this audio journal. That's hopefully my friends don't recognize me, but you never know, especially these days. But I really wanted to start this channel because I've been going to counseling a little while ago, and a counselor that I was talking to really helped me through a difficult situation. And it's the same situation that I think a lot of men find themselves in these days, where I was with a girl that I really cared about, and things didn't end up working out like I thought they would. And the way things worked out, not worked out, but the way things went down was pretty bad. And I felt suicidal, I guess, but I obviously didn't go through with it. And I went to counseling instead, and one day I'll tell the whole story about what happened, because I think there definitely needs to be context, especially when it's something like that. But it really opened my eyes up to talking out my problems, which is something that I had never done before. And I think a lot of guys could benefit from going to counseling and just talking to somebody, because one of the things that I found was that, and my counselor even told me this, that people just don't listen to what I'm saying sometimes. I think many times, and that's been a problem throughout my life. People just don't listen to what I'm saying, and what I'm saying is important. And I think I got so used to just bottling things up and just keeping everything inside, or just working things out on my own, which is fine. The counselor said there was very little work he needed to do in terms of once I got to where I needed to be. It was not too many training wheels that were needed, but at the time I really needed to talk to somebody. And even my closest male friend, my best friend, I couldn't, because he has his own life and his other things that he has going on. He's got a family, he's got a wife, he's got kids, he's got other responsibilities. And I know he's my best friend and all, but it's just not my nature to want to get in the way of his family just for me, I know it sounds stupid. And maybe at the time it was, but for me it was really hard to go to him and talk to him about it. But once I did, it was really helpful when I talked about the situation. And again, when I'm able to tell the whole story in context, I think you'll be able to understand what I was going through. Maybe it's a very simple thing. Maybe it's something that is easier for other people, but I just struggled with it. And I don't think that's really uncommon. I think lots of people are going through whatever it is they're going through, but other people just aren't listening. And I think we would do better to listen when other people have problems, other than just talking. I think when people are going through stuff, we're all in our own worlds, and we're all just sort of thinking about ourselves, bills that need to be paid, things that need to be taken care of, family that needs to be talked to, just normal things, just driving to work or doing whatever it is we're doing. We have a hard time listening to others because we're so focused on our own pain, or we're so focused in on our own problems that we forget that other people exist. The worst feeling in the world, I think, is when you're in the middle of a crowded area, or you're in the middle of a party or something, and you still feel alone. You still feel like people aren't listening, even in a leisurely place like that. Or you could be, another really fearful thing is to be talking to somebody else and trying to share something really important, but they're just not listening, and they're just not hearing what you have to say. And I think I went through that. And Thankfully, the counseling really helped a lot, and the person I spoke to was very good about it. But it was something that was important to me, and I do consume a lot of MGTOW content and manosphere content. I always have. I think I was, what was it, ahead of the curve on this one because I'd been listening to it before it was a thing. I think the person who red pilled me on this was a man by the name of Tom Likas. I don't know if he has a channel, or I don't know what he's doing anymore, but his radio program really opened up my eyes to what women are like and how they treat guys. And it's something I'll forever be grateful for on one hand, but also I feel like I want to go back to sleep, like the Matrix, I want to cipher my way back, but I know I can't. Yeah, it's just the way I am, when I love people, when I love women, I go all out. But recently, I don't feel like going all out anymore. I just feel like they're not really worth it. All this jumping up and down and jumping through hoops for someone who only loves you for the cult of personality that you are and not who you are. I think women, and this is just my opinion, women in general are in love with all the other things about a guy, but not the actual guy. They're in love with what type of job he has. They're in love with what type of car he drives. They're in love with what he looks like, whatever that is that he looks like. They're in love with all these things. In my view, a woman's love is generally just conditional. It's based on criteria that she has. And when the criteria start to go away, like if a guy loses his job, a guy loses whatever makes him a Chad, whatever that means, whatever makes him that, when that's gone, she's gone. Everything is predicated on, what you are, not who you are. And guys are the opposite. Guys generally love women for whatever it is, for whoever it is they are. And that's to our detriment. I think we really need to learn from each other in that way. I think men need to learn how to love more conditionally, and women need to learn how to love more unconditionally. I think it's a major problem in our society that I think has always been there because hypergamy has always been a thing. But I think it's just gotten so much worse with the way things are right now and the way people are right now. But I think that's always been my problem, is unconditionally loving people for whoever they are. Giving people the benefit of the doubt even though they don't deserve it. And I think to myself, I do that instinctually because I want to be given the benefit of the doubt if something were to happen to me, but I rarely am when it comes to relationships and that kind of thing. So for the time being, I'm just not going to be in a relationship and not going to seek a relationship with a woman because I just don't see it being worth it. Everything in our society just keeps telling us that men need to change, men need to change, men need to change, men need to change. And I say bollocks. I think women need to change. I think women need to actually bend. Men have bent for the longest time. We bend over backwards to do what women want, to give them everything, to make sure they have a good life. We work in the sewers. We work hauling trash. We do the things that keep society running. Because I don't really see women doing those jobs too many times. You may have one, female firefighter that can, fulfill the criteria, or they have to drop the bar to get her in, but you don't see women being able to do those kinds of things or choosing not to do those kinds of things. I'm all for that kind of freedom for everybody, but at the end of the day, It's men who are doing so much for women, and women just aren't, they're not appreciative of it. Just don't care. They really just don't care. Like, and I don't think my voice is going to change anything. I don't think me saying anything is going to change anything, because other people who have articulated it far better than me and are articulating it better than me, they're not getting anywhere. And it goes back to what I talked about earlier, which is people just don't listen, just not listening. And I think in this case, in terms of women, I think they're not listening because they don't like what they're being told. So they're opting to ignore what's in front of them, which is common. And I think that's common of people as a whole. But I think we need to look in the mirror, and I think that's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to look in the mirror myself. I'm just trying to get my thoughts out. Even if it seems incoherent, I think sometimes just spitting on the page is good, because then you can sort of look at it and say, well, okay, this doesn't make sense right now, but I see pieces here that make sense. I see this fitting, and eventually it'll come to you, and maybe someone listening to me might be able to put it together a lot more quickly than I can. And I think that's cool too. Or maybe someone's listening and just saying, that guy's not speaking the truth, or he's not saying something that's wholly accurate. He only has half the picture, or he's looking too closely at it, or he doesn't see the picture at all. I just want to look at things from several different points of view to see if I can come up with an answer. And at the end of the day, maybe there is no answer. Maybe this is just a part of being human. Sometimes there are no answers. Sometimes there is no correct answer. Sometimes there is no right or wrong way to go about doing something. Sometimes you just have to do it because it needs to be done. Anyway, I think I might end it there for right now with this. I have a lot to say on this, obviously, and just want to say thank you to anybody who listened and who got anything out of this. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll try to have the BitChute and Rumble links in there as well. I think I'll have more freedom to say more things there, but I'm just trying to capture as big an audience as I can. And even if there is no audience for this, I still just want to talk to you. I just want to I guess I just want to take this adventure, and hopefully y'all will come along for the ride with me. Thanks so much. Take care, and cheers.